Ooh. Oh, there it is. 5'5". Look. Got the corduroy. This is the white on black corduroy. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Sup? It's not loud enough. Alexa, raise volume by 2. Oh. Let's go. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, and please consider subscription on R8RBEAR family page. It's just $5 a month, and you can cancel anytime, but you won't want to. We give to charities all over the world, and you will be helping us make the world a better place. 1 star at a time. Stars contribute to the show, you know that kind of thing. And you know, it's gonna cost me something to send you guys this bottle. It's gonna be costly. Then imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! Woo! The R8RBEAR! R8RBEAR! No, that's enough. R8RBEAR! I told him I'm like Skinny Godzilla. My neighbors, I told him that's why. I told him that's why I do it. It's like a Skinny Godzilla routine. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. The slate. Woo. Hold on. The slate gray. That kind of matches what I'm wearing better. Because I'm wearing the Last Call t-shirt. When it just left Oakland. Got Hell Raider, Gorilla, Violator, and some other people on there. It's pretty dope. Alexa! Hush! Tradish! R8RBEAR! They're live! First comment! Woo! MVP tonight! It's like opening an envelope. See, because I'm not in my comments yet. So I'm finding out, along with you, who won tonight simultaneously. I say that as though it's exciting. I mean, hey, you know, someone had built excitement up for it. It did. I'm sure it did. Especially with my bike's like wanting to fall down. Especially when you consider that we have decided tonight to anoint a YouTube world champion. He won the gold tonight. Jim! Okay, Jim, look. Don't get all excited, okay? Just like Josh Russell, I expect you to defend your title for years. Okay? Don't mess around and get all giddy. Okay? You be a good champion. Serious. Second place, silver medal, Carlos Magana! What's up, Carlos? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. And third, last but not least, one of my favorite nicknames, Ramiro Cash Flow. Yeah, your brother can own that, okay? To hell with him. Sorry. You guys might not know, his brother uses that as his email, and so... You know, Carlos was, so Ramiro was trying to be cool, but I don't want him to. You know, it's our nickname. We're using it. Castro! Welcome to the show, guys. All right, YouTubers. That was awesome, but first, my Facebookers, because, see, my Facebook people are really who got me on the map. Now I'm hoping for my YouTube people to take me further onto the map. So getting to my YouTube, now I'm getting to my Facebook. Our heavyweight champion of the world checks in, Dustin King! Or at least, curtsy or something. Come on. Second place, our silver medal, Lucky Pace! LP, what's up, brother? Every time I see his name, I know I gotta watch my comments, because at any moment, if I miss something, he'll be like, Bear, come on. And he always does it smooth, you know what I mean? He has this, like, Barry Manilow to him. It's, it's pretty good. Third place, my bronze medal goes to that annoying little monkey who him and his wife do all these pickle jokes on my wall, and they steal my first baseman from my beloved A's, Bob Stanton! Hi, Casey! In case she's watching, All right, so let's get to what's getting on in Raider news, in Raider business. We shall talk about that right now, except, hi, Jake Bumpus, Tony Carpenter Evans, girl, can't say enough, Shade Street, it's my guy right there. That's become a thing for me and him. I can't wait to meet you, bro. Okay, so I just want to remind everyone, Punks for Autism. Now, I brought this one out because I always forget to do this, but Punks for Autism is a charity that I work with. It's near and dear to my heart because I have multiple family members that have autism. And so I've been on the front lines with kids who are really, really bad, and then some kids you can't even tell they have it. But if you go to PFA, Punks for Autism, PFA, you give to Punks for Autism and check this cool shirt out. You can get really cool shirts like this that say Punks for Autism and have original art by artists from all over the world. It's really, really cool. So please check that out, Punks for Autism. You're giving to autism research just by buying a shirt. It's the coolest way. I mean, in the past, you've always given to charity, and you've never gotten anything for it. And then I realized that if they did it that way, I could do my show that way, and then I got the people with Punks for Autism to do their site that way. So now you can go on, you can give a donation, and then it opens you up to a list of shirts. And you can go, okay, that one. And then your donation goes directly to research. It's really cool. Larry Brooks Jr., what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Good evening right back. Victor Ribby, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Say hi to Rosa for me. All right. Tony May, get there. Denton Rhodes in from Kentucky. Are they playing tonight? Oakland for the upset this March Madness. Okay, brother. Honestly, this is the first time in a while that I haven't been paying attention to March Madness. I've been too busy. I love it like you guys do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to trash March Madness at all. I love it. And I love doing polls. I win them all the time. But this year I've just been out of it. I've just been too busy with other stuff. The Golden Grizzlies of Oakland. I like that. Hi, Tommy. Good to see you, buddy. Corinna! Hello! What's up, love? Welcome to the show. I just shout her name because I just love her. Anna Diaz Rincon. Anna Diaz! Woo! Rincon! I haven't had a chance to really say your name like that because, you don't win my medals anymore because someone's become a host of her own show and become a big shot. Forgot about her beloved Bear. Absolutely none of that's true. It's just funny. Ellis Irving, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Matthew Lincoln, I see you. What's up? We need to go get Brandon Rice. That wouldn't be bad. Fine Galvan, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Doc Raider, good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. Armando Madrano, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I'm trying to say hi to everyone really fast before I talk about football so that you guys don't get your comments and questions so far ahead of me so I don't fall behind. So, hi, everyone. Fight Galvan, my thoughts on the new running back are that I think that he will see this as an opportunity to become a star. I think that he is a complete back. He physically looks impressive, very fit guy. Can handle the ball on the bubble screens and catch the ball with his hands, not ball into his body. He had a very high catch percentage. He's a very capable all-around back. I think he's going to want Josh Jacobs' job. But Zamir White is the more premier interior smashing runner. So I think you honestly have to do a combination of 1-2, where Alexander Madison is your jab. Get them scared, get them back on their heels with the speed and the quickness and the make you miss. Then you bring in Zamir, who can give you that same thing, not quite as effective, but also can bang. And so every once in a while when it's, 2nd and 3, you bring him in and you just let him go through the middle. It's only 2nd down. You still got 3rd down. So the logic is let him have that 2nd down run and see if he can't just get the 1st down on the ground. And more often than not, he's going to. He averaged 3.9 yards a carry last year. Obviously, that's just at 4 yards a carry. So if he just averages 4 yards a carry, all we got to do is, get a throw here, get a short this there, and boom. And we'll have an offense that really moves the chains. Glenn Medina, medal round is not fixed. What about the quarterback from Florida State? What do you think of him? Forget his name. Let me see. I don't have my tablet with me. I would have just looked his name up. What do I think of him? I don't know if I would say more than he's going to be a 2nd or 3rd day guy. Bear, what are the scenarios of us moving up and how much would we have to give? It's probably going to be the Cardinals. We're trying to target the Cardinals. We have a couple of teams in our way. Even though Washington has made a move, I know Washington has called the Cardinals. I know the Vikings have called the Cardinals. The Falcons have called the Cardinals. Who else? There was another team, and then us. Might have been the Giants. And so there's a lot of people vying for that position. So whether or not we move up and get a quarterback is going to depend on that business deal. Now, because things went the way they did with Justin Fields, because in my opinion, Justin Fields was supposed to be a Raider. The Raiders had done everything, put everything in place to make it comfortable for him to be there and have a landing spot there, and then it just didn't work. Because I never got the impression, although I did hear some reports, that the new offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach that we hired from the Bears were quietly saying they didn't want him to follow. They didn't want Justin Fields to follow them from Chicago to Las Vegas because they weren't sure if he was the guy. Now that didn't make a lot of sense to me. That the Raiders would pick you both from the Bears, coincidentally the team that's getting rid of this, young, sought after quarterback by a lot of teams in the league. We just happened to get his offensive coordinating room. Coaches, come on. We wanted him. It just didn't work. What's up, R8RBEAR? What's up, Jesse Parker? Good to see you, brother. Okay, Bear, let's talk business. Jordan Travis' name is coming up huge at quarterback talks for the Raiders. Arizona are sellers at 4. Do we move up, or do we think we still grab a quarterback in round 2? Okay, first, I'm going to say this as aggressively as I can. The Raiders will make a move. Now, if it's not the Cardinals, it'll be something else. But the Raiders are going to make a move. They are going to try to get between other teams and Jaden Daniels. I always get Jaden mixed up. But he's the target. Now, if they don't get him, I don't know if they double down and try to take one of these other guys. Maybe Bo Nix, his name keeps getting thrown around. I don't know. But Jordan Travis is just another guy that brings another aspect to this. And then as far as the quarterback in the 2nd round, I don't even know if they would make it a 2nd round pick. They might even go as low as the 3rd and 4th round to look for a quarterback here. Because I think that there's only a handful of guys that are really deemed the elite coming out of this draft. And then the rest are going to be prospects that you've eyed that you think have something. I think that's where we may end up picking. Now, I reinforce that by saying to you that Tom Telesco, most of you heard me say this the other night. Some of you watching tonight might not have been watching the other night, so let me remind you what I said the other night. Tom Telesco, in his 10 years, both in San Diego and in Los Angeles as the Chargers general manager, he never traded back. Never. Now, did he trade back in round 4 or 5? I'm sure he probably did it then. But he's never traded out of round 1. He's always tried to move up in round 1 or stand pat because they like where they pick and they've targeted someone. But he never goes backwards. Now, does that mean he can't go backwards for the Raiders? I mean, of course. I mean, the longer you never trade down, maybe you just eventually do it. You know what I mean? But it would seem It would seem that strategy wise, if you're trying to interpret what he's going to do, why would now be the time that he goes, okay, now let's trade back and load up on picks? When we already saw how well our defense played last year, we're a quarterback away from having a very effective offense with a running back and one of the best wide receivers in football. We're that close with a tight end in Michael Mayer, who's got a little season on him now. So he's going to be better this year. And I can tell all of you who liked Michael Mayer and couldn't understand why he wasn't coming to fruition faster, I can tell you, his sight adjustments were bad. So there were times when he was running an up and a hook instead of an up and an out, and he didn't read the defense and realize that if he ran the hook, it's covered, whereas if he ran the out, it's free. And so he has to learn that. Okay, then he also has to have a quarterback that's on the right page with him and thinking that he will make the side adjust and then throw the ball to him. That was the problem. Sometimes he would make the side adjust and AOC, Aiden O'Connell, wouldn't recognize that and would just look to another route being run by another position. So there you have it. I mean, that's just the honest truth. That's the only thing that's holding Michael Mayer back right now. He has to understand how to read and react to defenses and how his route changes and then make himself available to the quarterback. After that, he'll be a star. If he doesn't learn that, he'll just be another guy. Glenn Medina, Bear is the best on the West. Oh, I love that. Thank you, brother. Hi, Val. Good to have you always. Ooh, whoops. Go all the way up here. Oh, up. Sorry, I have like a couple of different pages open, and I'm trying to look up stuff also while you're bringing it up to me if I don't actually have it. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Florida State's quarterback, Jordan Travis. Okay. I'm looking at like 5 different like little window pages of him right now. Whenever I have it set up in a way wherever and I click a certain guy, it pulls up the highest talked about things with him. Jordan Travis injury updates and surgeries, mock drafts. Jordan Travis's leg injuries. Jordan Travis is a senior. Okay, let's see. 6'1", 212 pounds. That's what I weigh, guys. If you think I'm thin, that's what I weigh. Almost exactly. I'm 6'3", and I hover right around 205, 210. And I'm 6'3". So his body fat's probably pretty low. I'm looking at a photo of him. He looks thin. He'd have to put on at least, a good 20 pounds to keep from getting injured. And now I'm seeing him in photos injured. Jordan Travis walks on crutches prior to the Orange Bowl against Georgia Bulldogs. Let's see. Travis' injury has greatly impacted his draft status. He traveled to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine on the 11th. Other teammates speaking to teams showing them what kind of player he is off the field. Travis didn't participate in any drills, but got focused on establishing relationships with the scouts. Okay, well, that was smart. He didn't just sit down and pout and act like a debutante. He went over to the scouts at the camp and was selling himself. So that's good. So John, I would say to you, I like him. I like what I see. I just don't know if his injury history is going to get better if he's having that. Then he's slim and he's coming in the same way. If we see Jordan Travis in 2 months and he has on 20 pounds, then I'll say he's going to be a success. But right now, he just looks like Bryce Young to me, or the next Bryce Young. Corinna Trujillo says, fantabulous show. I appreciate the love. White looks like he bulked up. Fade Galvan, no, there's no doubt about it. White has bulked up. Now, I think he's doing that to send a message more to the fans than to the front office. They know he wants the job. They know he wants to be the bell cow back. But can his legs hold up to that? Because he had problems with his legs, guys, coming in from school. So you always just have to be wary of that. I think the number one antidote to that is stretching, full-time, full personal trainer, get him stronger. But more importantly, when he feels tightness, soreness, or discomfort in his calves or ankles, you have to give him a day off. You have to give him a day off. You put him on ice, then you put him in hot therapy, then you get him a masseuse, and then you bring him out again and see how he feels. You have to treat a good running back like that, like a racehorse. Raider fan, what's up? Welcome to the show. Travis McNeil, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. He said, sup, bear. Jim, no, it had just the right amount of emojis. It was part of why I announced you as the champ tonight. I saw a rumor that almost made me lose my whack. Press Skunk is getting traded to Vegas. I hope they meant the Golden Knights. Well, I mean, it has been talked about. I don't know. I doubt it's going to happen, though. I just doubt it. Fine, Galvan, I agree with that. One of the names I said right when the scouting combine stuff started getting talked about was Terrion Arnold. And I happen to think Terrion Arnold is our target. I just do. I think that we might have a Tom Telesco that is looking at the top 15 guys and saying, okay, I pick at 13. I'm just going to pick this kid because I know he'll be there. But if he's not, then I value this other guy at 13. If he's not there, then I value this other guy. See, that's kind of how Tom rolls. He'll have like 2 or 3 different guys loaded in the chamber, so when he gets to 13, there's no confusion. He'll either go with 1 or 2 or 3, one guy out of a set of 3 people that he deems fills a position of need for us. For example, his first pick could be Terrion Arnold, but at the same time, it could be the big offensive lineman from the Seminoles, I want to say. I got it wrong, I'm sure. Fi Galvin said, thoughts on Gardner Minshew. Stephen Shaw, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Tony Carpenter Evans, you heard that as well? Okay. Now, Fi, my idea of Gardner Minshew is this. Too often, we as fans have been taught that there are starting quarterbacks, there's high potential starting quarterbacks that come out of the draft, there's guys that have been in the league for a while that, have been given a chance off and on, but, they haven't really been given a real chance, and so you wonder if a certain team will give them another shot. You had the former wide receiver who converted to quarterback and played for the Dolphins, started to actually play pretty well, and then he gets picked up by the Titans and had a couple or 3 good seasons with them there. You know what I mean? So there's just no way to see on any given day who's going to be the guy or who isn't. But Gardner Minshew, in my opinion, is one of those guys that's just, he's that close to a team saying, yeah, you're our starter. See, now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm a Raider fan. I want him to succeed. He's a Raider, so that's it. But I'm not going to be dishonest. Here it is. Gardner Minshew, there are throws he can't make. He's not a big bomb throwing guy. Now, it's not that he can't throw the bomb. He can. But don't ask him to throw 5 of them in a game. That's not going to happen. Okay? His effectiveness is in accuracy and quick understanding of the offense so that he can 1, 2, 3 balls out. 1, 2, 3 balls out. 1, 2, 3 balls out. Or tucked under his arm and he's going to run and get 3 yards and slide. You know what I mean? He's a smart quarterback that will bring success to us because we will have pieces around him that he can utilize. Our running game is going to be very nice. Our passing game already has Devontae Adams. We're adding Michael Mayer now with with a year under his belt. He will be better. And so this, Jacoby Meyer on the other side, the number 2 wide receiver, he was already having a good season. He'll come back and he'll have another. R8RBEAR. Caleb's pro day at USC felt lackluster to me. I felt like he tried too much to display a character type. Uh-oh. Can I, anytime? You're killing me over here.
I was cooking, sorry.
Oh, yeah, dust. Yeah, exactly. Now they're making her feel bad. I felt like he tried too much to display a character type. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Travis Kelly, no. To be honest with you, there's so much talk and spotlight on the guy at this point no matter what he does, people are going to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're going to kind of eyeball him and try to see, what is he showing us? Is it what he wants us to see, or is this who he really is? Etc., etc. John Souza said, aloha, Brother Bear. Don't we need O-linemen? Yes, we do. And I'd be honest with you, I'm completely comfortable with them going with the very best offensive lineman at 13. Absolutely. Because, honestly, if it's not the number 1 guy, it's going to be the number 2 guy in the country. No doubt about it. So, at 13. Because they're not going to all get snatched up when there's so many wide receivers, linebackers, quarterbacks, running backs that are going to get picked up. When you get to 13, someone we've targeted will be there as an offensive lineman, for sure. I know, right? I've been waiting on them for my water all night now.
Hey, look, I made up for it. I made your cup.
Show him your shirt. Show him your shirt.
It always tastes better late.
Who got you that? Yeah, and what did you have to do to get it? Nothing, because I'm a sweetheart.
Well, no, I did something. Remember how good I've been at work?
I have a lot of viewers that don't know what that is. Real loud, say what that is real quick.
Has Been Hotel.
Has Been Hotel, the anime.
No, it's not an anime, but it's okay. It's on
I
Amazon.
know, so old.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's a good adult comedy show. Don't let your kids watch it, though.
Yeah, don't let your kids watch it. They cuss like, whew. I don't let my kids watch it. You're in trouble, young lady, now that I know that.
Good thing I'm not a kid anymore.
I'm not disappointed in the Minshew pickup. Kid is active. Daniel, Hammond strike! Yes! Daniel! He didn't invite me. I'm getting the coins just because I love his name so much. Daniel, I got to tell you, I think people who actually know football, and that's not insulting anyone, but what I mean is you watch ESPN, you know what I mean? You see the highlights every Sunday, not just for your team, but all the other teams too. You watch NFL Live. So to young ladies and men watching my show who do that, you know that Gardner Minshew is dangerous. He really is. I mean, I haven't said this yet on my shows, and we've had Gardner for a few days now. So now I feel like everyone's in, we all understand Gardner Minshew's going to be our quarterback, whether that's the 1, 2, or 3, we don't know yet. But I will say this, Gardner Minshew is Ryan Fitzpatrick-like. He walks into a room and immediately tells everyone in the room, I'm the baddest man here. He's just like that. And when you meet him, you immediately like him. Every locker room he's ever been in, all they talk about is how he's a great guy. A little goofy, because there were rumors, and then I found out they were true, that he lives on the beach sometimes with a van, and he has like all this stuff packed in it, and he's like a nomad. He just likes to live like that. He's, earthy, I guess you'd say. But when I watch him play football, I don't see any of that. I just see a good football player. Man, y'all should check out Conor McGregor in the new Roadhouse movie remake. Dude is hilarious. He's at the point where he should only be acting. And that's nothing against Conor McGregor. I don't understand why. Even Conor McGregor seems to be bothered by the idea of retiring. I just don't understand why he thinks that that's bad or somehow he looks bad. He had a great career. He won a lot. He dominated his weight class. He had some controversial fights with the Diaz brothers, but I don't think he won those fights. But I don't think he won either one. But that's just me. but he went on to do bigger things. You know what I mean? Be in boxing matches. He's won all this money, and then he got a really bad injury in his lower leg. And when you break the bone, the tibia or the fibia in your lower leg, that's it. Because if it gets kicked again, it breaks again. Because the point where the bone will reseal in bones that small, it seals, but then it stops, and there's a certain amount of cartilage in there, and so if it gets hit again, it just breaks again. Now, it won't just break on its own. You'll be able to walk all your rest of your life, and you'll be fine. But if it takes impact, it will break again, and the same way, but probably more painful. So it's not cool. But I did hear he was good in the movie. The Raiders will not grade up. They will take the best defensive back or best tackle in the draft. I agree with you, Bear. AOC will shock people. I'm not backing off AOC. I want everyone that's watching me right now to remember I said that man is going to be a competitor. He is going to fight Gardner Minshew for that number 1 spot. And if Gardner Minshew is not effective, He will lose the number 1 spot to AOC. You bet on your boy. I'm the one that also said that Justin Fields was going to be a Raider. Book it. I did. And I'm bitter about it because I was right. And then something went wrong. I don't know. I can't believe we weren't willing to give more than a 6th round pick. Jim Vanlin said, since Aiden O'Connell isn't the most mobile quarterback in the world, and since he got sacked a bit last year, do you think they're going to beef up the offensive line? Yes, they're going to do that regardless. But more importantly, Jim, I don't care that he gets sacked sometimes. I don't care that he's not a mobile quarterback. Can we all take a deep breath on this attitude about we have to have a running quarterback? Can we stop that? Okay, please. Of the 100+ years we've had NFL football, you have a handful of quarterbacks that were running quarterbacks that won Super Bowls. That's it. All of the rest, both in the old days and then up in the 70s and 80s and then in the 90s and the 2000s, you've always had quarterbacks that win Super Bowls that are pocket passers, i.e., stand behind their offensive line, go through their progressions, figure out who's open, throw the ball. That's what wins football games. Not some clown going, okay, I think, everything's covered. Okay, spin move. Okay, I'm going to run over here, and then you're going to get blasted. Robert Griffith III. Argument 1. What do you think of the O-line, build through the draft or piece it together soon? No, I think you do both, honestly. I don't mean to be greedy in that way, but I don't care about the offense, and the defense is built. I think personally you should focus strictly on the offensive line. I think the first pick should be offensive lineman, and then you go cornerback. Or you get the cornerback and then get the best guy you can get with your second pick. But you can package that 2 pick with a 7 and a 4 or a 7 and a 6 or something and move higher up and go even maybe in the low first round and get something else that would be offensive line or the other cornerback, etc. But I would argue you're going to see Tom Telesco make a move. That I'm also willing to go out on a limb on and say, Tom Telesco is going to make a move. He can't be the guy for the Chargers that for a decade, he never checked down, never tried to stockpile picks, always said, throttle to the gas, we're going to make a winner. Every year, we try every season to get better, period. Even if we have to get a new quarterback, even if we fire our coach, we just keep plugging away. We build a core, and then we build around it. We build the core, and then we build around it. And when the core gets old, you start replacing the core. Well, they did that. They've got their young quarterback. He did that. He brought in one of the baddest men in football, Khalil Mack. He's got that mouthy nitwit Bosa, who none of us can stand, and he's totally injury prone. But he was a good pick. The guy's a monster when he's actually healthy, which isn't quite that often. But that's not on Tom Telesco. He did make solid picks. He brought in Derwin James, the safety. That's just amazing that we actually wanted, and they got him before we did. So, it's true. In the draft scouting, we wanted him bad. See, Glenn Medina, I already answered that question. Whether it's good or bad, it's not going to happen. I just don't think Tom Telesco is going to move back. Every report I just read today says he's never done that. That he just doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in having that philosophy of there's so much bad around this team, I got to go way back and get all these picks. Instead of having 6 picks, I'm going to have 12. Some teams swear by that, but I don't think he's hearing it. Cody Palmer, what's up? Welcome to the show. I went back and watched some games from last year of Gardner Minshew. He was dropping balls in tight gaps to wide receivers all season with the exception of game against Max and scaring the bejesus out of him. Yes, he did admit to that. He did admit to that. He remembered exactly what Max was saying to him, which tells you it's true because Max was on video saying it, and then he becomes a Raider, and he kept telling me, stupid ass young boy, sit down, boy. And I was like, damn. And that would scare me, man. If that guy keeps getting within inches of just slamming you down and he's telling you, I'm going to be right back. I love that about Max, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Are there any medical issues on Daniels that we should be concerned about? We go after someone with issues, especially a quarterback. I'm just curious. He does have things that have gone on in his past, but not like Achilles tears and things like that. It's been more like shoulder stuff. I don't think he's going to be a problem. Kevin, Kahu, Hano. I'm sorry I sound underwater, bro. I'm loving the fact that we had a rookie head coach, rookie OC, and a rookie quarterback and still found a way to win more games than anyone thought they would. Not only are we adding more talent to the team now, but they all now have some experience under their belts. Can't wait to see what AP puts together. Okay, is everyone paying attention? That was a comment. Okay, see, I'm ready to play for Coach Purifoy. Okay, I'm going through a wall for Coach Purifoy. Now, Mike, I got to tell you, first, great to see you. I would say this. Not only is all that true, but we also, as fans, found a way to be skeptical of AOC. I just don't understand that. Under the circumstances he was under, he played fantastic. Don't you understand that? Yeah, he made mistakes. Yes, he had a game where he fumbled twice. Okay. He had a game where he scored 0 points. He's a rookie. Every game is a new game. Every game is another day in the life of being an NFL quarterback. Now he has an entire season behind him. But how does he have it behind him? With a head coach that was a disaster and got fired, an offensive coordinator who has never done the job before and was just thrown into the position because he wanted to be able to get it on his resume, had to battle that. And how much of that is on him, the fact that we scored 0 points in a game against the Vikings? On the play caller. You know, we had our young quarterback go through all of that and still win a handful of games down the stretch. I'm sorry, I was impressed. No. Tashana, no. Mwah, so good to see you, girl. I appreciate you catching my show. If you see the comment here, Tiger, this is an old friend of mine from school days. Way young school days. Good to see you, love. Welcome to the show. Salute Nation, salute Raider Bear. Do you like the Palomo signing? Yes, Raider Ryan, because it'll give us versatility. Reyes Antonio said, what's good? What's good with you, brother? Welcome to the show. I think what's best right now is this Alex Madison signing. I like him. I like the signing. I like what he does, the versatility. I think that guy's going to be a star for us. Because unlike where he was before, I think he'll see this as a greater opportunity to really be the solid starter and kind of take this job from Zamir White. Because I have a feeling that Zamir White at some point is going to need rest on those legs. I have a feeling that they're going to give him a seniority for the Raiders where they say to themselves, if we're going to give anyone a real chance to be the starter, it should be Zamir White. He's been here. He's a Raider. He should have a chance. Now, having said that, even if they do that, if he gets banged up or gets that tight calf situation from those previous 2 hamstring tears, if that happens again and they say, we're giving him 2 nights off, and then Alexander Madison goes out there and just rips it up and has 2 great games, now we got to talk. And Coach AP is old school to me. He's going to respect the fact that Zamir White was there and they're trying to give him the lion's share of the carries. But if he sees Madison play that well, he's going to get snaps. Raiders! What's up, Bobby Ware? Welcome to the show. That's one of my guys right there. He did it the right way. Got married to a beautiful woman, has beautiful kids, has a good career. That's my guy right there. Benny Arriaga, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Travis Kelly. Yeah, he is a pothead, but at the same time, it doesn't affect his game. So I don't care. Remember, Lawrence Taylor used to show up to games high on cocaine. Kenny Stabler used to come off of parties the night before where he was, let's just be honest, womanizing on his wife and using drugs and getting high and drinking alcohol and then waking up the next day and going, put me in, coach, and throwing 4 touchdowns. And yes, he did do that. Fight Galvin, the thoughts on the new tight end we got is that he's really supposed to be, I think, here to show Michael Mayer how he's supposed to play in the NFL. I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if you go back a ways to Darren Waller, when we were bringing in the old Hall of Famer from the Cowboys, and we brought him in, and he played well, even at his age, but he found that he was teaching Darren Waller how to be a tight end. He wasn't just playing in games with him. He was having to really show him, okay, when you see this, this is what you do, and when you see this, this is what you do. I can remind you distinctly when I saw something that I thought was incredibly interesting for my viewers to know, and that was that Darren Waller didn't understand that his stance was giving away when he was going to run out into a pattern or when he was going to stay and block. And so he had a form he would take, a position he would take when he blocks. But when he's going to go out for a receiver, he would, get into that position like wide receivers do. And so he didn't realize he was literally telegraphing what we were doing. And so the old tight end from the Cowboys had to set him aside and say, no, kid, you can't do that. You've got to show them one look and then come out of it in each way. Come out of the same look as a block, and you come out in the same look as you ran a route. That will confuse them. Do you understand? And he's like, oh, okay. Darren Waller was a pretty boy, okay, who wanted to be a rapper more than a football player. It was ridiculous. The potential he had and the patience Raider Nation had with that guy. And it never benefited, and it didn't with the Giants either. You watch. He'll get one more year with the Giants. He'll be ineffective and injured, and then you're not going to see that guy's name anymore. He'll get bounced out of the NFL because he's just not effective, and you can't pay him what he wants to be paid, and because he doesn't justify it, it's going to get bad for him. Williams could be the next Jamarcus Russell. You never know. I'm just saying. Glenn Medina, you could say that about every quarterback that comes out of the draft. I mean, you just can. And then remember, last year's draft, the consensus number one quarterback coming out was Bryce Young. The second one was C.J. Stroud. And then look at how different they are now. C.J. Stroud looks like a Pro Bowler, and Bryce Young looks like a bedwetter. I mean, literally, put foots in him, okay? It was embarrassing. What was Carolina thinking? Give the kid a break. I mean, he looks like a human piñata out there in a Carolina Panthers uniform, going, and then just getting blasted. It's disgraceful. Michael Guerrero, what's up? 559 Fresno in the house. Hi, Mr. Raider Bear's daughter. Aw, thank you, Val. Thank you, Tommy. Michael A. Charlin, loved your comment earlier. Bear, what's up, brother? How y'all doing, Raider Nation? Can't wait for the draft. I sent my message in your private message. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Your address, I appreciate that. No, Wiltz Duncan. No, you didn't get me this time. No, see, that time I saw it, Wiltz. No, I didn't get. Tell me something good. Oh, Mama Bear, you gotta listen to how I sounded for Wiltz on this one. I think I might get lucky tonight. It was very sultry. It sounded like I'd had a bourbon. Shohei Ohtani is about to bring the circus to Los Angeles. Wait till they get home. Korea, I bet Pete Rose is pissed. What's funny about that, and I'm only going to comment on it briefly because I don't really know the story in-depthly. I don't report baseball. But Shohei Ohtani is saying basically that he was paying off gambling debts of his interpreter. And children watching the show and those with sensitive ears, Tommy, cover your ears now. Earmuffs. So, Shohei Ohtani's story about his interpreter having, problems with his gambling, and he needed his buddy to bail him out. Oh, really? The interpreter thought he had $4 million? Can I be an interpreter, please? If that's the pay wage? So, yeah, no. He wasn't stealing money from him either, okay? Shohei Ohtani is not a moron. He's not a child, okay? And this isn't his agent, okay? It's disgraceful. They're protecting Shohei. Don't any of you see that? I think it's obvious. Shohei Ohtani has a gambling problem, and he's about to be the Asian Pete Rose. Even though he's the best of all time, he's an incredible hitter, he's an incredible pitcher, and he could end up being one of the best that's ever played baseball ever. Baseball right now right now, if they hold an investigation, they could bounce him. And you know how baseball is. They're worse than football and basketball. They'll never let him play again. And they have to make an example of him because we're in the day and age where gambling is more prevalent and you have more access to it than ever in your life. You can just pick up your phone or sit down on your PC like I am now and bet on literally any sport. And for those of you who are kind of virgin to gambling, they have what are referred to as prop bets, where now you gamble just what they're going to do. It's not even whether the team's going to win or lose. Sometimes you can say, will the guy in the 7th inning who's coming in, will he strike out the side? I'll put $100 on that. I'm serious. Will the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders finish with more than one interception? No. Put $1,000 on that. No, I wouldn't take that bet. Bear, I think you misunderstood me. I don't mind at all that Aiden O'Connell isn't a very mobile quarterback. I was just wondering if they're going to beef up the offensive line to give him a little more time. Jim, I didn't misunderstand you. I totally got what you were saying, and let me answer that differently, because I know you didn't. We're on the same page. New YouTube champion. But I do think they're going to beef up the line regardless. So, for example, when someone says, are they going to beef up the line? In their comment, they're almost saying, are they going to use the 13th pick in the first round to pick an offensive lineman? It doesn't have to be the first round. It doesn't have to be the second or third round. Every single season, there's offensive linemen that can play, guys. There's going to be more talent coming out of that UFL now. You know, The Rock got the UFL and the Canadian League to merge. Okay, so now it's a real league now. So this whole semi-pro UFL, to me, it doesn't get any more interesting. I'm not really interested in it. But what it does do is it creates a pool now for the NFL to pull from, where we're going to see some guys say, oh, damn, I mean, that guy could ball. And then a week's going to go by and we're going to see him on the Cardinals playing ball, or on the Buccaneers or some bad team that needs help. Corona! Oh, hello! I appreciate the love on the stars, Corinna. Everyone thought RG3 would be a superstar in the NFL, and look how that turned out. Glenn, now, see, we're on the same page. I really liked RG3, but I felt like he got used when he was a Baylor Bear. And for everyone that's watching, forgive me for going backward on, a guy that was never a Raider. I'll be brief. But when he was a Baylor Bear in college, he was incredible. And he was very accurate. He threw the ball hard. He had great running skills. He could make guys miss and take balls to the house. He had it all. The problem was, in college, while he played for the Baylor Bears, he never learned how to take the ball from a center. So his entire offense was based on standing in the shotgun and going, ready! And then the ball would come out. And the level of competition he was playing against at these other schools was so subpar, not very good, that he got away with it and could weekend after weekend blast these teams, because when he ever faced a team that maybe was a little bit better defensively, or maybe their coach was smarter and was, defending the things that the Baylor Bears were doing at the time, he would just tuck the ball under his arm and take off, because he would, on almost every given Saturday, he would be the most gifted athletic athlete as far as physical speed and make you miss, lightning in his legs, as I like to say. He had that and then some on just about everybody in the college ranks at that time. He could have played any position and he would have been successful. Running back, wide receiver, quarterback, didn't matter. The guy had speed and he was smart. But unfortunately, he wanted to become a pocket passer to start avoiding injuries. But then because of the injuries and him trying to learn how to be a pocket passer, the NFL is survival of the fittest. And you can't say I'm going to learn something at the NFL level and succeed. It just doesn't happen. R8RBEAR, the offense starts, or rather should start, with the offensive line. That's how the Cowboys had their dynasty back in the 90s. Many of their backup offensive linemen could have been starters somewhere else. It baffles me that teams don't try to copy that. The reason they don't try to copy it, Doc Raider, I might surprise you with this, because you said it baffles you, so you probably thought about this a while. And you're no young man, so hopefully I can impress you with this. The reason why you don't see teams doing that now is because if you stockpile offensive linemen, those are positions you lose that go to skill positions. And the era of score, be like video games is here. It's been here. And so what happens is instead of having 3 or 4 wide receivers, you end up with 6. You see what I'm saying? Because they're just trying to find stars and make plays happen. I got to make these incredible speedy plays happen, and I can't have a guy tired. So bring in the other guy, wide receiver, and our third string guy who's blazing fast, and let's run something to him. And so the era of building at the line has been lost. But the teams in this era who figure out to build from the line are the ones we see winning. KC, for example, had a very good line. They started to have problems with the line. They lost a Super Bowl. They came back. They worked out the problems with the line. They got better. They won another Super Bowl. So it's always the line. Always. On both sides. I sounded like Trump. There's good people on both sides of the offense and defensive line. Okay, on both sides. Don't get mad at me. Okay, let's see. One more Doc Raider. In reference to that, Michael Purifoy said it really highlights what an idiot McMoron was. Yeah. Jim, more than once I've made that same observation. Very good. Alpha and Omega forever. Bear, what's our chances of moving up to the 4 spot with the Cardinals to get Jaden Daniels since they're considering trading? Our chances are what we're willing to spend. And to be honest with you, everything I've read today about Tom Telesco tells me that he is a pull the trigger guy. He is a push the NOS button in the race kind of guy. He's not going to sit there and just try to win. When it gets close and you're at that stretch, I think if you look at his history, that's who he is. He doesn't trade back. For 10 years, he hasn't traded back. He's always took the best person available or who he thinks is the best person available for them, having scouted it out with his scouts. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the Chargers have always been pretty stocked with guys that could play. You know what I mean? He found guys in different rounds that all became effective players. So I wouldn't sleep on Tom I wouldn't sleep on Tom just so quickly. What happened with Adoree Jackson? Did we sign him? I'm not sure. I didn't look at that before showtime. Darren Waller had that problem I corrected when I coached Pop Warner football. Kevin! Woo! And honey. Ha-hoo! That was a blast. And true. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's so obvious. You stand this way when you go into passing routes, and you stand this way with your hands down and ready to go into blocking position when you're going to block. Duh. I mean, you're completely taking any sort of an espionage that they would use, any sort of trickery with the tight end position they might use, you've destroyed. And yes, his raps were corny, if corny means terrible. Did you hear that one where he just kept saying the N-word over and over again? He's like, let me know. And then we'll go. And when I see my boys, and I tell the girls, and then I know, and then I'm the man, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm trying to be a good fan here, Darren. Waller's contemplating retirement. Should we bring him back since we lost a tight end? Mind you, his wife still plays for the Aces. Alpha, I would flatly say no. And by the way, has anyone else noticed how nice Alpha and Omega's profile picture is? Appreciate the love, brother. Bear, what's the deal on Tom Brady's minority stake in the team? It looks like it's still not a done deal. Okay, what's going on with Tom is simple. He has actually bought other things that don't have anything to do with football. They're just other companies and businesses. And so what they're trying to do is wait until all the other stuff that he's trying to buy and consolidate is finished. Because then what happens is his portfolio raises Mark Davis's profile. So, for example, he may come in worth 1.2 billion, but then after buying these other companies and consolidating everything, he and then instead comes in at 1.9 billion or 2.1 billion, and then that raises the value of the Raiders altogether. Bear Woods, oh yeah, I just read that. Raider Bear, I want to start the NFL season after Easter and show every other team we are here to kick your ass. Anthony Contreras, that was well said. Jaime Morales, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Whoa, look who's been lifting. Do you think we should pay Josh Jacobs, or do you think we should go with the committee? Let me think about this, Jaime. Maybe we can call him in Green Bay and see how he feels about that. Jaime, you've been lifting the weights too long, okay? You got to stop going down in the dungeon for months and lifting. I see the chest, okay? You're getting buff, but you got to keep up with the times. Josh has gone to the Green Bay Packers and said hasta luego to the Raiders in a not so nice way. Said it's nice to be wanted. Ouch. And yeah, so we're going with running back by committee, but right now I think that this new kid that we just signed, Alexander Madison, has the lead track on potentially becoming the bell cow back. But out of seniority and Raider respect for, Zamir White, I think he's going to be given the opportunity. But we're going to see the same thing from Zamir that we've seen in the past with his career. He can't be something other than what he is. Do you see what I'm saying? He's an effective football player. He's got speed. He can bang with him like Marshawn Lynch. But he does get tight hamstrings and tight Achilles, tight calf muscles, which are all indicators that an Achilles tear is about to happen. So whenever anyone's had an Achilles tear, they'll tell you that's what they felt. They tried to play through it, and then it snaps. I come from a background in sports and therapy. I did it for over 15 years. Now, having said that, if we protect Zamir White, then he'll be okay. But part of that protection is not asking him to play every game. So Alexander Madison is going to get opportunities, and I think he may make the job his own. I think he'll play that well. He looks like a leaner Josh Jacobs. If he can do what I think he can do, get to the corner edge, get us big yards, make guys miss, really get, 1,200 yards, somewhere in that range, he's going to be a star for us. Yeah, Doc Raider, but no endurance. Kevin Kahuhanohano says they had RG3 way overhyped to be the next Michael Vick. Well, that's because nobody is the next Michael Vick. Nobody. Even if some LeBron-like quarterback comes along and is better than what Vick was. It was the way Vick did it. He was entertaining. It wasn't just great plays. It was great plays, but also exciting and seeing breathtaking speed. And by the way, guys, and I know most of you know this, ladies, I know most of you know this, but just for those of you who don't, remember, these guys had that kind of speed in their gear and their helmets. All these kids you see breaking 40 times, they're in their underwear at combines. You don't see them running those speeds in pads and helmets. Deion Sanders, Michael Vick, and some of the other greats, they could run those times with their gear on. That's speed. Oh, by the way, Bo Jackson, oh yeah, that guy had another gear that was just lightning. It was just an L on the next gear in the car. That is Bo Jackson. And when he went to L, it was Olympic speed, 427 Olympic speed in pads, which is, outrageously athletically gifted. Still the greatest athlete I think I've ever seen. I think we keep building this thing like we're doing. We'll definitely be built to take down the Chiefs, and when we make that known, it's definitely a deep run in the playoffs and possibly a fourth Lombardi. Not only do I agree with that, I would say this to you, brother. What are we really missing? We had a great year with our defense. Mid-year, we were top 10 right to the end from, I think it was week 8 to the end of the season. We were the top 10 defense. Okay, that's legit. Now you've added Christian Wilkins to that. A team that was already one of the best in pressures in the Raiders with Max Crosby. Now you have another guy who is one of the best in the league at the center position, at not just getting sacks, but getting pressures, disrupting the other team's offense up the middle. getting into their center and throwing them back into their quarterbacks. We have that guy now, the equivalent of Aaron Donald. And I want to show respect to Aaron Donald because he just quit, and that guy was human Godzilla. Okay. I could not believe the highlight reels I've been seeing of that guy since he announced his retirement. I found myself watching it going, oh, like wincing at his tackles. God, that guy was a beast. He should have been a Raider. Aaron Donald should have been a Raider. You know what I mean? Aaron Donald should have been a Raider. That guy played like a Raider. I hope you all are right about the Raiders being very good next season, but I remember years when we were expected to be great and we failed to live up to the hype. Don't want to fall into fool's gold. It's not fool's gold. What it is rooting for your team, having hope, and being positive. Scott, that's all. Just wanting to love your team and hope they do well. You know, and it's like you do with your nephew or your niece. If they go to school and they're in the 7th or 8th grade and they get a bad score on a test, you hug them. Tell them it's going to be all right. Then you try to work with them on the subject. They take the test again in a couple months. They pass, they do a lot better. They smile, they run home, they hug you. And they feel happy because their uncle, whoever, helped them out. You know, it's like that. That's how we love the Raiders. They lose games, we chalk it up to a bad test. You know, next week, we'll turn it around. That's why we're the best fans in the world. Because that's how we see the Raiders. Almost like if they were family members playing out there on the field for us. Like when we watch our nieces and nephews play sports in high school. That's how we feel about the Raiders. That's the difference between us and other fans. La Raza. Anthony Contreras says, ain't you right, Bear? It'll be amazing to hear the crowd yelling Zeus after getting big yards and first downs. Charles, not only that, I like the fact that he goes through people's chests. I really do. I really like that. Mark Vargas, right? That's my guy. I named my dog after him. Bo Jackson's 3.9, arguably 40-yard dash on stopwatch. Yeah, he was just God in football shoes. Zeus had enough good speed to run sweeps all year long. Let's go. You know, honestly, Charles, I agree with everything you're saying. I want you to understand. I really believe they're going to make him a switchback, though. He's not going to be a bell cow back. I wouldn't risk it with his legs. I thought when Kobe Bryant got his second Achilles tear, I really thought they were going to like curtail his minutes and, you know, give him a year off and put him through all this therapy. And instead, Kobe just said, no, give me a surgery and I'm getting right back out there. And then he tore it again. And, you know, I'm not fading him. I mean, it's the warrior attitude that he always demonstrated. And that's dope. And I mean warrior like in the class like of a warrior. I'm not saying the Golden State Warriors. He was a Laker. But a lot of respect for him, and I always felt bad that Kobe's career had to end that way. I was never a fan of Kobe because I always thought he was a little bit too, you know, intense as far as he turned it into meanness. Instead of being intense on the court, he was intense off, on, in, out, up, down. And sometimes you don't have to be, you know, I'm going to kill everyone with the basketball. You don't have to be that intense all the time. Yeah, same draft as Mac. Wilkins said he's going to take Wilson under his wing because he had a similar first season. Look for a quick improvement on the right side of the D-line. Michael Purifoy, I saw that comment. It got me excited because I don't know if you saw this, and I've been trying to use this comparison for people so they'll get excited too, but I feel like Wilkins is like Charles Barkley, but when he was younger. Funny all the time, really high energy, naturally gifted athlete at a big size, can move like little guys do, but exceptionally strong at the point of contact with offensive linemen. I think we have a chance with him to really win now. See, I've said things like that in the past when I thought we had Derek Wright, you know, and I thought Derek Carr's game was getting there and we were going to do some things. But I never was willing to go out on a limb and say that so much because I just didn't feel confident in it. Having seen what our defense did last year and then adding Wilkins, and then now Tyree Wilson having a mentor that's coming in the door saying, I want to unlock that kid and be a mentor. When do you see guys do that? Let alone say that in the press. Now, you hear it in basketball all the time, but you never hear it in baseball and football. Never. Everyone's fighting for their position. Nobody wants to take a chance that someone else might take their job. So that's why you almost never see a guy in football helping the number 2 or number 3 guy get better. They'll clap for him if he plays well, but I'm not going to help you get better so you can take my job. You know what I mean? In this instance, Wilkins has so much confidence in his own talent that he's saying, no, I'm going to get this guy so good that when we have 4 down linemen, 3 of them are going to potentially destroy your brains on every play. We'll have 3 guys on every down that can get to a quarterback, so it's going to be nice. Bear, why does every team say Nation when Al Davis started that whole thing? That shit kills me. Well, not only that, Travis, if you ever want to own them, you can just remind people that say Nation with other team bases that when the NFL's new era hats came out, it was about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a series of the hats that they declared they were going to go to every fan base in the NFL for each team, find out how they referred to their fans. For example, like the Seattle Seahawks called theirs the 12th man. So when they printed the hats for the Seahawks, it had a big 12 on the back. When they did one for the Dallas Cowboys, it was Dallas Cowboy Country. So they had the Dallas Cowboy, you're in Dallas Cowboy Country. I also think it might have said America's team. I can't remember exactly. But the only one, and you know Pittsburgh and Denver try to use it too. We've seen them do it a lot. We've seen Lion Nation, which is silly. You have a franchise that's had a perfect no-win, 0-win season twice. You don't have a right to say Lion anything, let alone Lion Nation. Just stop that. Lion losers. Even now, okay? I don't care that you're better now. You're still losers. Everything you've done thus far is going to amount to nothing. Dan Campbell might as well be playing on your team. He would probably outplay some of the linebackers you have right now. Put in foots in the Lions, okay? Bears in overtime. I don't care. Alexa, resume. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. I'll see you again tomorrow. Raider Bear family page. I'd say peace, but I don't believe in it. I want trial by combat.